Have you ever wished you could, like, reach out and connect with your heroes?
Yeah.
You know, like those larger-than-life figures who just inspire you.
Yeah.
Well, what if I told you there's a surprisingly effective way to do just that?
Hmm.
Even in today's digital world.
Really?
Get ready to dive into the fascinating world of through the mail
Okay.
or TTM autograph collecting.
You might be thinking,
Yeah.
does this really work anymore? You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
It's like a hidden gem, a throwback to simpler times when fans could connect with their idols through handwritten letters and treasured autographs.
Exactly. It's not just some relic of the past. It's still thriving today.
Right.
We're going to equip you with everything you need to know, the history, the how-to, the etiquette, even why it's a surprisingly awesome way to connect with your heroes.
Think of it as the perfect blend of traditional fan mail and autograph collecting.
Okay.
You're not just buying a pre-signed item online, you're reaching out directly, expressing your admiration and hopefully getting a personalized autograph in return.
Okay, let's unpack this. For someone totally new to TTM, what are the absolute basics?
Imagine you're setting out on a quest. You'll need some essential supplies, forever stamps, both domestic and international,
Right.
hint archival quality index cards and envelopes.
Yeah.
Sizes number 9 and 10 are your workhorses.
Yeah, so we're going for longevity here. Even autographs deserve to age gracefully.
Yes.
But what about those addresses? I can't imagine celebrity contact info is just floating around the internet.
It's easier than you might think. A great resource is startager.com, a database packed with reliable addresses for all sorts of public figures.
Wow.
It's super affordable, but there are also free alternatives out there for the budget conscious.
So you've got your supplies and the address. Now comes the fun part, right?
Yeah.
It's telling them why you're such a big fan.
That's where the letter of request, or LOR, comes in.
Okay.
This is your chance to connect on a personal level. Skip the generic form letters. Trust me, celebrities can spot those a mile away.
Makes sense. If you were getting hundreds of identical letters, you'd probably skim them at best. But a genuine handwritten note, something from the heart that's bound to stand out.
Exactly. Handwritten versus typed is a long-standing debate in the TTM world.
Oh, really?
Some swear by handwritten for that personal touch. Others prefer typed for clarity. It really comes down to what feels right for you.
Okay, so you've poured your heart into your LOR. Now you need something for them to sign.
Yeah.
What's the best way to send photos?
For photos, especially 8x10s, you'll want sturdy cardboard backing to prevent bending. Secure it with painter's tape for damage-free removal. Then use a 9.5 by 12.5-inch envelope for the outer and a 9 by 12 for the inner return envelope.
Pro tip for our listeners. Go with matte photos over glossy.
Oh, good point.
Glossy surfaces can sometimes repel ink, leaving you with messy autographs, and nobody wants that on their prized possession.
That's a great point. You can easily order high-quality matte prints online from places like Amazon. Now here's where it gets even more exciting. TTM isn't limited to just US-based celebrities.
Wait, are you saying I could get an autograph from, say, Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
Directly from across the pond?
Precisely. It's a bit more complex with postage, US postage on the outer envelope, but include British postage for the return if sending to the UK. Think of it as providing a return ticket for your autograph. You can buy international postage directly from the Royal Mail website.
This is blowing my mind. So I send off my request, now it's just a waiting game.
Exactly. Managing expectations is key here. Replies can take anywhere from a week to, well, sometimes even a decade.
A decade? Wow. Talk about delayed gratification.
Yeah.
I guess patience is a TTM collector's superpower.
It certainly is. But most replies arrive within a reasonable time frame, around 3 months. It's all part of the fun, the anticipation, the thrill of finding that signed treasure in your mailbox.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And it's not just actors. You know, across the pond, TTM opens up a world of possibilities beyond Hollywood. Think authors, musicians, even scientists.
You're telling me I could potentially get a signed book from Stephen King?
Absolutely.
Or a response from Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Absolutely. If there's someone you admire, it's worth sending a request. You never know who might respond. In fact, sometimes you don't even need to rely on snail mail. Have you ever considered email autographs?
Email autographs?
Yeah.
Like skipping the whole letter writing process?
Sometimes, yes. You can email requests directly, especially to figures active online, or use email to facilitate traditional TTM, like confirming an address for oversized items.
So it's like a digital bridge to the autograph world.
Yes.
Okay, back to snail mail.
Yeah.
We touched on postage for international requests. But what about those trickier addresses, like for a concert venue or a movie set?
Ah, yes. Those are called via venue addresses. It's a bit more challenging because timing is everything.
Right.
Your letter needs to arrive before the event ends or the celebrity moves on.
That makes sense. Where do you even find via venue addresses?
It takes a bit of detective work.
I bet.
Websites like playbill.com for Broadway shows can be helpful. Social media is another great resource. Keep an eye out for announcements about upcoming events.
So much research goes into this. I'm already feeling the thrill of the chase. But real talk, we need to address the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
scams.
Yeah,
It's sad, but they exist in every hobby.
unfortunately that's true. One common scam is the celebrity imposter.
Okay.
People pretending to be celebrities online, trying to trick fans into sending money or personal information.
Yikes. So if Chris Pratt slides into my DMs asking for a loan, it's probably not him.
Most likely not. Always be cautious and verify the authenticity of any online interaction. Look for verified accounts and be wary of unsolicited messages asking for money.
Solid advice.
Mm.
What other scam should we be on the lookout for?
There's this celebrity fan card scam.
Okay.
Fake cards promising exclusive access personal messages, often for a fee. These are completely bogus. Remember, legitimate interactions happen through official channels.
Got it. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Supplies, LRs, international requests, even scams. But what about the feeling of actually getting that signed photo back?
Ah, the joy of success. It's truly a special moment. A tangible piece of connection with someone you admire. A reminder that even these larger-than-life figures are real people who took the time to acknowledge your request.
I bet it feels amazing to hold that little piece of their world in your hands. And it's not just about the signature, right? It's the journey, the research, the anticipation, the surprise of getting that envelope back.
Absolutely. TTM is a hobby that engages you on so many levels. The thrill of the chase, the satisfaction of a successful request, and the joy of building a collection that reflects your own passions.
And speaking of the waiting game, any tips for managing the anticipation? Sounds like patience is key here.
It definitely is. One tip is to keep track of your requests.
Yeah.
A simple spreadsheet or a dedicated app can help you log each request, the date, sent the celebrity, any relevant details. This way you can anticipate potential replies and stay organized.
Love that. It's like creating a roadmap for your autograph adventure. Anything else that can help with the wait?
Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Enjoy the research, the letter writing, the sending off of your request. That way, even if a reply takes a while, you've already gained something valuable from the experience.
It's about the journey, not the destination. I like that. But with so many possibilities, where do you even begin? It feels a little overwhelming for a newbie.
It's true, the options are endless. Starting small and focused can help.
Right.
Pick a specific film or TV show you love and aim to collect autographs from the cast. Or, if you're a sports fan, focus on your favorite team.
That's a great way to ease into it. Dip your toes into the autograph pool before diving headfirst. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the practical side of things, but what about the emotional side? What makes connecting with celebrities through TTM so special?
That's a great question. I think it taps into our human need for connection and inspiration.
Okay.
Celebrities often represent our hopes, dreams, and aspirations. They embody qualities we admire: talent, courage, creativity, even just the ability to make us laugh.
So it's not just a signature. It's reaching out for a little piece of that inspiration.
Exactly. And even if we never meet them in person, getting a signed photo or letter can feel like a tangible acknowledgement of that connection.
Like a little spark of magic. And in a world that can feel disconnected, those sparks can be incredibly powerful.
They really can be. And sometimes it's not just about connecting with a celebrity, but with a specific moment in time.
What do you mean by that?
Think about it. You might have a favorite movie from your childhood, or a book that changed your perspective. Receiving an autograph from someone involved in that project can bring back those memories and feelings in a really powerful way.
That's so true. It's like having a physical reminder of those cherished experiences. And it's not just limited to entertainment, right?
Exactly. Maybe you were inspired by an athlete's dedication or a scientist's groundbreaking discovery. An autograph can be a symbol of that admiration, a reminder of the impact those figures had on your life.
I'm starting to see how TTM goes beyond just collecting signatures. It's about preserving those moments of inspiration, those connections that matter to us.
Precisely. And the beauty of TTM is that it's accessible to anyone. You don't need special access or a ton of money to participate. All you need is a stamp, an envelope, and a genuine desire to connect.
I love that. It truly levels the playing field and makes those connections feel even more special.
It does. And while we're on the topic of accessibility, we should also mention that TTM can be a great way to introduce younger generations to the power of letter writing.
That's a fantastic point.
Yeah.
In a world dominated by instant messages and social media, taking the time to write a heartfelt letter can feel like a lost art.
It can, but encouraging kids to participate in TTM can help revive that tradition and teach them valuable communication skills. Plus, it's a fun and engaging way to learn about history, pop culture, and the people who have shaped our world.
I can already imagine the excitement of a child receiving a reply from their favorite author or athlete. It's a memory they'll cherish for years to come.
Absolutely. And who knows, it might even inspire them to pursue their own passions and make a difference in the world.
Speaking of making a difference, we've talked about the positive side of TTM, but are there any ethical considerations collectors should be aware of?
That's an important question. While TTM is generally a harmless and enjoyable hobby, it's essential to approach it with respect and consideration for the individuals you're contacting.
That makes sense. So what are some specific things collectors can do to ensure they're being ethical?
First and foremost, remember that celebrities are people too.
Right.
They have lives and careers outside of their public personas, and it's important to respect their time and privacy.
So no stalking them online or bombarding them with requests every week?
Exactly. It's also important to be mindful of the items you're sending. Avoid anything that could be considered offensive, inappropriate, or overly personal.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
It's all about common sense and treating others how you'd want to be treated.
Exactly. And while it's exciting to build a collection, it's important to remember that the real value lies in the connection, not the monetary value of the autographs themselves.
I love that perspective. It shifts the focus from acquiring things to appreciating the human element of the hobby.
It does. And finally, remember that success is never guaranteed. Some celebrities are more responsive than others, and some may not participate in TTM at all.
So it's important to manage expectations and not take it personally if you don't get a reply.
Exactly. The journey is just as important as the destination, and even if you don't receive an autograph, you've still engaged in a unique and rewarding hobby.
You know, listening to you talk about the ethical considerations makes me realize that TTM is more than just a hobby. It's a reflection of our values and how we interact with the world around us.
That's a great point. And ultimately, approaching TTM with respect, consideration, and a genuine appreciation for the individuals you're contacting will make the experience more enjoyable and meaningful for everyone involved.
Well said. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, from the practical aspects of sending requests to the deeper meaning behind this fascinating hobby. It's clear that TTM is more than just collecting signatures. It's about building connections, finding inspiration, and preserving those sparks of magic that make life a little brighter.
Absolutely. And we've only just scratched the surface. There's a whole world of TTM waiting to be explored, full of history stories and those unexpected connections that make this hobby so special.
So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to give TTM a try, where's a good place to start? I bet there's a whole community out there.
There is, and it's incredibly welcoming and supportive.
Oh, wow.
You'll find online forums, Facebook groups, even websites dedicated to sharing tips, addresses, and success stories.
That's amazing. It's like having a whole team of fellow autograph enthusiasts cheering you on. Any recommendations for where to find these online communities?
Absolutely. One great place is the Tales from the Collection Facebook group. It's a hub for collectors of all levels, from beginners to seasoned pros. You'll find a ton of helpful information and a friendly community always willing to share their knowledge.
Perfect. So we've equipped our listeners with the tools, the knowledge, even the community connections to embark on their TTM journey.
Oh, well.
Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up this deep dive?
Here's a thought to leave you with. If you could receive an autograph from a ANY figure, past or present, who would it be and what makes that autograph so meaningful to you?
Wow, that's a great question. It really makes you think about the people who have inspired us, shaped our lives, or simply brought us joy.
Exactly, because ultimately the joy of TTM autograph collecting lies not just in the autograph itself, but in the act of connecting with someone you admire. It's a reminder that even in a world of screens and digital interactions, a handwritten note, a shared moment of connection can still create something truly special.
Beautifully said. So to all our listeners out there, grab your stamps and envelopes and start connecting with your heroes. You never know what amazing autograph treasures you might uncover.
Happy collecting.
And that's our deep dive into the world of TTM autograph collecting. We hope you've enjoyed this journey and feel inspired to start your own collection. Until next time, happy collecting.